Good morning. Right. Been a while. I know. My fault. I know. Got a few bits going on in my personal life, so, we've all got one. Nothing to apologise for, really. Just been busy. Right. As promised, another review here for another rod. Rod, obviously, this one I've bought. But after testing it out as well, after having a little play with it, yeah, I've had it for about 5 months, maybe a little bit more. It's the Yuki Sublime, right? I'll get the boring shit out the way. Language, Timothy. I'll get the boring stuff out the way. It's a 14-foot, 2-piece rod. Right? Brilliantly suited for us UK lot, considering it is it's come from the continent. It is a continental rod in length and stuff like that. It's a 2-piece, like I said, 14 foot, which is 4 meters, 4.2 meters, blah 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 blah. There's 3 models in the range. This one is the Triple H, the heavy, yeah. See, they even thought about us, these guys at Yuki. They thought about us English people, and they know how daft we are and how stupid we are. So the three rods in the range come as a heavy, and a heavy. So simple. Yeah, this one I've got here is the heavy, which is the one that's built for the rougher stuff. But that in mind, I've never tried it on any rough ground, so I can't comment from that. But I think it's ideal situation for it is like the English or British match angler who, he matches over sort of a bit of mixed ground of stuff, and they want to be casting out sort of 3 half decent sized baits to sort of get your points up with good size sort of 3 doggies, whiting, 3 fish to sort of, and we all know how 3 doggies can go on a rod. It's got to have a bit of poke, but it's also as well. It's also got, with it, and this is the continental bit, it's got a hybrid tip on it. So, it's got a lovely tip on it, which is sort of spliced in about, yeah, I'd say it's about there. So, yeah. And the other one, it's got 2 splices, so it's a hybrid tip. But this one, like I say, is the one, and it is the heavy, which is rated 100 to 400 grams, which I haven't seen anybody cast 400 grams. So max it'd probably be, what, you'd be on the green top leads, 7 ounce, into a bit of a rough, bit of a wind, bit of rough tide and that, and with 3 half decent sized baits, so it can handle that with an overhead thump. I haven't pendulum cast it. I've overhead thumped off the ground, but I have seen a guy do sort of a not full tournament one, but a lazy sort of fishing pendulum. It's handled it, and why wouldn't it? It's a fantastic rod. Like I say, yeah. Other boring bits. It's a hybrid tip. High modulus carbon. It's the heavy is 515 grams in weight in total, so that's pretty light. The heavy is 510 and the heavy is 515 as well, so it's light. I have got the heavy one here. I've also got the heavy, which is 100 to 200 grams, so it's 4 to 7, shall we say, and then the heavy is 4 to 8 or 8.5. So you know, what else do you want? They tick a lot of boxes. Like I say, 2-piece. One of the last boring bits is the rod does come, or Yuki used to supply it as purely a blank, an unfinished blank, to be finished. But they changed their minds and they started sending them out as fully built blanks. So they've got the Fuji reel seat, and they've got the Fuji K guides, with lovely black and gold, sort of a black and gold, and the actual blank itself is finished in sort of a matte black. So it's a nice, understated, sort of nice rod. And then a little bit of shrink tube at the bottom of the rod there with a handle, and a plastic type foot, but I put one of them on, the old butt cap, because it's just me. I do it with all the Conti rods that I've had. I've put a butt cap on, and then on the female part of the tip, a nice little black thin metal band, gives you extra support and thing at the joint. And as well, you know, it's got the writing on, as you would say, lovely sort of beautiful rod looking, World Championship Series. And then on the butt there, you see these numbers here, that is the longitude and latitude numbers of the factory where it was built. So, you know, there's a little bit of fun there in the thing. Yeah, so the actual torquing of the rod, as you can see, it's a lovely rod. Yeah, I've added on the tip a little bit of tip tape just to give it that little bit extra sort of thingy in the dark, that glows up and reflects. But the tip, it's a lovely tip, lovely tip. The rod itself, I've fished with it many times. I've had dogfish, whiting, school bass, flounders, plaice, thornback rays. The biggest fish I've had on it has been thornback rays, which was, it was £8, 9, 10, something like that, you know, getting up to £9. Handled it beautifully. The hybrid tip as well, it holds well in the tide. One thing I will say is, when you're positioning your tripod, position it into the wind. Don't have the wind crossing it, because, you know, people go, oh, look at that, the rod tip's bouncing around like hell. It's a hybrid tip, the wind catches it in a crosswind, it is going to bounce. If you have it so the wind's going over the top of the rod and you've got it bending into the tide, absolutely beautiful rod. It's a great rod. I've used it with fixed spool and multiplier, had no problems. Simple over the head lob, does see a lead go a decent way. Like you say, 2 doggies on it. I'd very rarely fish three up rigs because I'm lazy. I can't be arsed baiting up a third hook or having to de-hook a third fish. So yeah, I've had 2 doggies on it, and it's fine. It's handled everything, and I do believe, even though, you know, and please don't be put off by the 400 gram max casting weight, because that's a max casting weight, so that'll be your weight plus your bait. So if you did want to try chucking out onto a clean beach, or yeah, onto a clean beach, or you wanted to have a try for something a bit bigger, you know, maybe half a mackerel, cast that out with a 6 ounce weight, you know, you can do that without risking snapping your rod during cast. And, you know, big bullus, maybe even tope from the shore. I haven't caught them, but I am, well, I won't say 100%, 99.9, because, you know, there's always going to be some clever out there that's going to say, I had one of them. Yeah. And the tip, yeah. And as well, with it being a hybrid tip, and if you do buy the blank and you're going to build it yourself, where you have the splice bit where the hybrid tip goes into the carbon, please make sure that you put your ring or a ring on that join, because that, if you put the ring either side of that join, yes, that will make a weak point, and yes, it may snap, or it may weaken it, and it may twist the block. It's common sense. It's common sense. You know what I mean? It is. But the rod itself, absolutely fantastic. I believe I first heard about it because a friend of mine was started stocking yuki rods and reels, and he asked a very well-known and very accomplished local angler what kind of rods he wanted to get in, or what should he get in, and what bits and bats to get in, like you would if you don't know the company yourself. And I heard this guy saying, oh, the Yuki Sublime and that. So he got a sample rod in, and I took it out and I've used it, and I was like, I'm having one. And now I've got one, and I've got the heavy version as well. But like I say, please don't be put off by the heavy title. It is a good all-round rod. A good all-round rod. And yeah, I personally, I like it. I'm whittering on a bit, yeah, I know I am. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful rod. Looks good. Fishes well. And yeah, and for you match anglers out there that, you know, do want a rod, because I've seen it myself. I've not been fishing in the match itself, but I've seen it on a couple of matches where the guys have they used the Conti rods, and they've used it, and they've got a few points up because they've got a few small flounders and a smooth 4 whitings, and then they're thinking, right, it's that time at tide now, boom, dogfish, and they've swapped to one of the Gray's triplex rods, you know, the 16-foot one, where they can boom, bash a bigger bait out, a bigger multi-up rig with bigger baits out, and they do that because it's a beefy rod, but it is still a good match rod with a good tip. This, you don't have to change your gear over. Use that for your dabs, for your flounder, for your small whiting, for your smaller fish, and then when you have to change the size of your bait, instead of changing your whole setup, boom, the rod's there. 3-up rig, bang. Triple squid and lug cocktails, or squid and mackerel, or mackerel and squid, or whatever thing dogfish bait floats your boat. Pretty much anything, really, innit? You know what I mean? And it will do it, and it will do it well. The tip on it for bite registration's good. It's a great rod. It is a great rod, and at a great price. You know, there are rods out there that I've used that I've not liked as much as this. You know, I've had all sorts. You know, I am a tart. I am an absolute tackle tart, and yeah, and I've had them, and I've not liked them as much. But this, it's a great rod. I can't fault it. One of my final tests, and I know I'll make this one of my things when I'm testing rods. I've got the old links here, things to go through the top rings. And my thing is, you know, there's your 100 odd pounds plus swivel going on to the Genie link, going on to a good strong swivel with a link. Oh no, that's the link and swivel. Then there's the Genie link, then there's the strong swivel, then there's the fast link, and then there's the old quick fix thing, match thing, and then the Trident link as well. All these, at some point in my fishing thing, I've had them fixed on to my reels at the reel end at leader. And like I say, I will do this test in front. Oh, there you go. It's 12, so it's a nice sensible size, passes through easy. Look at that. Oh, it's like a string of thingy beads, you know, like you have coming up Valentine's Day. Goes through, so you know 90% of what you have on your multiply reels or your fixed spool reels at the top end of your leader, you know it's going to go through them rings, and it's going to go through well. Right, that's that. I'll leave it at that. as I like to say in a lot of my videos, if there's anything else that you think I should be sort of reviewing or having a look at, maybe I'll get on it in the next few days. After sort of this weekend, things are calming down for me in my personal life and that, so I'll have more time to spend more time on my page, doing reviews and things. All right, but chaps, and get out fishing and do a bit of that as well. Maybe I might catch them. Maybe I might be able to do a little cooking thing. But there you go. That's it. Happy days. I hope you all have a very good, safe weekend. Get out fishing. Get out, get your fresh air. Get out walking. Get out, do whatever. Yeah? But just stay safe. Be sensible. And, yeah, most of all with your fishing, keep it kiss. Because you got to keep it simple, stupid, aren't you? Just keep it simple. Kiss.